everyone. Sorry for the little delay in starting. Literally when I turned on my gimbal, it was uneven, and maybe it's still slightly uneven, but I think the tutorial I found online more or less made it better. So just to start things off, am I fairly level? Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? How's the sound? We are going without headphones today. Let's see here. Happy Canada Day to everybody, of course. Very excited to be back here for this date, since I actually can't remember the last one that I was actually in the country for. I think it must have been when I was living in Toronto, because all of these other years I've mainly spent the summer in other places. So this is the first one in quite a while. Okay, good. You guys can hear me and see me. I'm on my 45 gigabyte a month plan from Bell, which I'm paying $130 for. So thankfully I do have the gigabytes for today's stream, unlike the last time I was in Canada when they gave me all of 8 for a month. What am I supposed to do with 8? Also just want to say a big thank you to whoever already sent a super chat for $6.71 Canadian that I can see on my end. I don't see who sent it, but whoever did, thank you very much. Oh, and I just saw one coming in from Michael. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Alina? Happy Canada Day. Thank you, Michael. I'm doing good. I guess maybe the first thing that we need to address here is that my hair is different. This is a stark change from anything I have ever done in quite a while. My hair is like 3 inches shorter, quite a bit darker, so I'm doing good. I'm feeling fresh, feeling fine. I want to say a big hello to Jim, Harriet, and Yuki. Thank you for coming out as always. Hello to Michael and Alina. Thank you for coming out. We got Andy from the UK, Brian, Miguel from Guatemala, hello. April, hello. So lovely to have all of you guys here today. Effie, Rahul, welcome. Maureen, wonderful. So friends, I decided to do a live stream here today from Calgary. I've been here for about a week visiting my mom. It has been wonderful, other than the weather not being great, unfortunately. I guess it followed me from BC, where it was very cold for the time of year. So I'm hoping that the rest of my time in Canada will be actual summer weather, because that's what I came here for. I came here hoping that I'd get to enjoy, you know, my new home country after Ukraine in good weather, but you know, you never know with the weather. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat, Andy, and thank you once again to Michael. It's very beautiful to hear you and see you, Alina. Thank you very much, Michael. Yeah, it's like a gimbal. Yeah, I'm on a live stream.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi.
Hi!
Have a good day. Cute kid. So guys, yeah, I've been here for about a week, and I will be here for, I haven't decided actually exactly how long I'll be in Canada, but at least for sure a month, because next week I'm going to Saskatchewan, so it'll be nice to see my dad and some of my friends. So lots of content coming from Canada in the next couple of months. And yeah, I decided to live stream on Canada Day here because of course most people have it off. The downtown is going to be bustling, and there are 2 places that I'm going to take you guys that I think they're gonna have like actual festivities at, like performances, and you know, just everybody out and about in proper Canadian fashion. So that's going to be today's live stream. And of course, before we get started, I do want to acknowledge that even celebrating, you know, Canada Day in a way is you know, quite hurtful to the Indigenous people that were here before us and have obviously suffered greatly from European colonization. And you know, I feel like that's a big part of us even being able to celebrate what this country is now, is like we have to acknowledge what it was before all of that genocide happened. So I hope that in today's Canada Day festivities, I have heard that they are trying to integrate, you know, different cultural Indigenous events into the ceremony. So, you know, it's not perfect, but it's a start. And I just feel like if we are going to celebrate the country that Canada is now, we do have to acknowledge what was done in the past and how it actually became a country, as most places have, you know, that kind of dark past. So with that having been said, where I am right now is actually one of my favorite places of Calgary. Let me flip the camera. It is the beautiful Peace Bridge on the other side of the river that leads to downtown. And actually, let me know in the comments if any of you here are from Calgary, or have you been to Calgary before? What are some of your favorite places or your, you know, impressions when you've come here? Because this is, you know, Canada's 4th largest city, and I feel like there's been a lot of really positive changes here in Calgary. Like in the decade that basically my mom has lived here, I feel like I've really seen, you know, things improve, so to say. All the times that I would come back, lots of great new businesses. You know, we really have a lot of different cultures who live here in Calgary, which is awesome. I'll let these guys pass. And yeah, I feel like this is a really up and coming kind of, you know, global city. Jesus, can't get across the street with all these bikes. Yeah, Calgary, I would actually say one of the top things that it has going for it is that for being Canada's 4th largest city, I feel like it's actually quite affordable. And that's kind of going to be the topic of the main video that I'm doing on Calgary, which will be out in a few weeks, is that looking at the rent that my mom pays, for example, for her really nice 1-bedroom apartment is so much better than anything you could find like in Toronto, Vancouver, and even in comparison to like Montreal. So in a way, I feel like Calgary, for being a fairly big city, is quite affordable for Canadian standards. But more on that later. This guy is very talented. Very cool. Just gonna read your comments here, guys, as we cross. Well, actually, let's take a stop here, even though we're gonna hold up traffic. Everybody's out in dinghy boats today, going down the river. And what you can see on this other side here is actually the start of Princess Island Park, which I think they might be having a few Canada Day events as well, but there's another place that I heard is going to have more going on. But yeah, walking around the river edge here is actually a really nice park area with a literal island that's like over on this side. So this is a really nice part of downtown to just, you know, get away from the noise of the city and just be in nature. Brian from Toronto agrees with me that Calgary is affordable. Yes, it's still, you know, obviously expensive. Like I can tell you guys, like my mom's rent is about like $1,300 or whatever, and like she's got a huge, like spacious 1-bedroom apartment, and like her building even like has a pool and like a gym, you know, all the fancy kind of stuff. And it's like what you could get in Toronto or like Vancouver for that price, if you could even find something like that. Like good luck. Let's see here. Oh.
I got one on the platform and the other foot on that train, and I'm going back to New Orleans, with that ball and chain.
That guy's really talented. Alright guys, wow, we actually got a lot of people out here. I came from the other direction coming here, so actually this is way more full than it was coming here. Oh, thank you very much to Florin. Happy Canada Day from Romania. Very cool. Colin says, all I know about Calgary is the Stampede. Yes, speaking of which, it is starting this Friday, and I'm going to be trying my best to make it there on the day, because after that I'm heading to Saskatchewan. I actually thought that Stampede was in August for some reason, so if I would have realized this, I would have stayed for more of Stampede, but at least I'll get the first day. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Stampede is, there's some different opinions of which is the largest rodeo in the world. It is either Calgary Stampede, or I guess there's one in the States, and I can't remember off the top of my head. So, but it's definitely, you know, one of the biggest rodeos in the world. And it is not just that, like it is kind of a whole exhibition where they have like rides, and they kind of have, you know, different convention sort of stands, lots of food. So it is like one big party centered around a rodeo, and you know, all the different businesses in the city usually have special stuff going on for Stampede. So it's just a very busy, you know, popular tourist time in the city for Calgary. And even when we were coming here on the C train, my mom and I, who's waiting for me at the end of where I'm going to be ending my live stream, we saw them like putting up a whole bunch of stuff for Stampede. So this will be my first Stampede. I have never been in Calgary before when it was going on, so I think it's going to be a good time. Have any of you actually been there? Any suggestions for things that I should do? Just going to read your comments as I give you a nice view of the park. Hello to Lorraine from Brazil. Ooh, Lisa from Greece, thank you. Oh, hello to Victoria from Ukraine. Very cool. Oh, and I hope you get to visit April from the Philippines. Pedro says that the Canadian rodeo is the biggest. Cheyenne, if I'm saying it properly, in Wyoming is supposed to be the next biggest, but I feel like it's the Las Vegas rodeo. Yeah, I feel like there was another name or something that came up for the one that I found, but definitely Calgary is big, you know. Oh my God, look at that guy in the silver mirror stuff. I don't even understand how his outfit works. That's actually impressive. Do you guys see him? That's fun.
Bring the mirror man to bring a little bit of light.
I love it. So yeah, this area actually, last time I was in Calgary, was all shut down, not only because it was still being built, but also because it was during COVID, and you know, they were just doing silly things like, you know, making it so you couldn't sit on a park bench or something. So all of this stuff was like kind of closed off. So it's nice to see people actually being able to enjoy it and actually use the outdoor space. And just for, you know, a point being made, overall now all over Canada, you don't have to wear a mask indoors or outdoors, except for government buildings, as far as I understand, and also once you're past security in the airport and also on a plane. So those are kind of the only places in Canada that you still have to wear a mask, but overall I think, oh, and hospitals obviously, but everywhere else I think it's just a personal choice now. So that is that. And so yeah, this is the path, guys, to Princess Island Park, which is all over there. And I think there are only 2 bridges on the whole island. So either you enter it like from over here or the other way, which I'll show you later on. So like I said, this is a really nice area to walk around in Calgary. I'm really happy that today is this kind of weather. Well, it might rain later today, but I was actually really worried because a few days ago we had like thunder and lightning and just like rain sporadically day after day. So I'm very grateful that at least this early part of the afternoon it looks like we're gonna have some good weather. Oh, my friend Ryan is in the chat. Happy Canada Day. Yes, we finally got some sunshine. Ryan is actually from Calgary originally. So Ryan, if you have any tips for people visiting, drop them in the chat. Somebody, Tornado says, show the tower. So yeah, sadly we can't see Calgary Tower from here, but I will definitely show you guys it once we get further into downtown. I actually just made the route off of the top of my head yesterday. I haven't fully walked it, but I think I've walked around Calgary downtown enough to more or less be able to know where to go. So if I get lost, I'm gonna need you guys to Google Map for me because I can't close the live stream and do that at the same time. But I think we should be all right. This would actually be a very nice area to live in Calgary because you're still like very close to downtown. You're maybe a 10-minute walk from the C train. You get to be close to some nature here. So this is actually a really nice part of Calgary to live in, I think. Oh, my mom's in the chat, who's watching me from somewhere else in downtown Calgary. Всей аудитории привет и с праздником Канады. Что ты написала? What did my mom write? Канады, канадцев. I don't know how to translate that. Basically, my mom's saying Happy Canada Day to all the Canadians there, I think. Just my Russian reading is coming out weird. Oh, I want to say a big thank you to Jay. Since Canada qualified for the 2022 World Cup and are playing against Morocco, Croatia, and Belgium, are you going to Qatar this November to watch them? Well, first of all, thank you, Jay, for the super chat. But no, I mean, I wouldn't probably go anywhere for any kind of sporting event because I'm not that into sports. If I happened to be in a country and something like that was going on and the tickets weren't ridiculously expensive, yeah, absolutely, I'd consider going. But to make a special trip for sports, I don't like sports that much. All right, let me flip here. So yeah, they have definitely been doing a lot of work on this walkway. Like I said, this used to actually all be closed down, and there are actually some areas down there that they are still working on, but it is just nice that Calgary in general, I think, has been putting a lot of work into their downtown and, you know, by the river sort of areas, which I think is definitely a great investment because look, it brings people together. It kind of gets you away from any areas, you know, with cars, and it just makes the city more, you know, pleasant to be in. I hate when it is just all a concrete jungle kind of downtown. Aw. Thank you, as always, to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki for coming out to the live stream and donating. Hope you get to do a live stream with Papa McLeod in Saskatchewan. Love you dearly. Aw, thank you guys. You're so sweet. Yeah, I think that'll be literally the first thing that I do when I get to Saskatoon. I fly in next Sunday, and I think my flight lands at like 11 or something, and I was thinking of doing a live stream that afternoon. And I'm gonna ask my dad to like walk along with me. So if you guys want to see a tour of downtown Saskatoon and surrounding area with me and my dad, then definitely tune in on Sunday, because as long as there's good weather, I think that would be the day I would do it. And then yeah, we'll see if I'll have any other places I can do a live stream from in Saskatchewan. I actually had to be very mindful of like which phone company I went with, because it's always Saskatchewan that you don't always have coverage with some of the smaller companies like Kudo or Freedom Mobile or something. You have to get like TELUS or Bell or Rogers to be covered when you go to remote areas of Saskatchewan. So I hope my coverage will be good when I get there. Oh, Michael made a comment of really built up more since the last time you showed this. Yeah, because I guess I did a live stream from Calgary. Was it last year or was the year before? Might have been the year before, I don't know, a year or two ago. I kind of did a live stream near this area, and yeah, it's definitely changed since then, so definitely a good thing. Oh, we got way more people here. Everybody got Canada flags. Colin asks, would you ever consider settling down in rural Canada like your hometown? Unlikely. Never say never, but I've spent more than enough time in a small town in Saskatchewan that, yeah, especially with the work I do, it really doesn't make much sense. I kind of prefer to have, you know, a city that especially I'm able to travel to any other part of the world easily, like Toronto or Vancouver would be the best two for me in Canada, because I could either catch direct flights to Europe or direct flights to Southeast Asia. So that's very important to me, but you know, maybe I'll just get tired of everything and go out in nature or something like that. So what is happening here? Is this just everybody congregated on the bridge, or what is this? Holy moly, there's a lot of people. I don't even know if I want to go down here to show you guys it. Let me just show you it from the end. Oh, he's making balloon animals. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah, so this is the other entrance to Princess Island Park, guys. Really nice area. I think people are having like picnics and just having some festivities down there as well. Aw. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much to Jim Ross. As always, that is so generous. Thank you. Late, but I'm here. The rain gods look like they're going to hold off. It's funny that you have to qualify that Calgary is cheap. It's just one booking thing after another. Houston Stock Show and Rodeo is bigger, but it depends how you measure. NFR in Vegas is more money. Yeah, I'm not the person to ask, but yeah, I'm sure there's lots of great ones in the States as well. But thank you as always, Jim. Incredibly kind of you to come out every time and support the channel. Thank you very much. Happy Canada Day and hope you're doing great. Yeah, so I don't think we'll go into the park right now because like I said, it's actually a little bit packed here, surprisingly enough, and I still want to show you guys all the stuff downtown as well as the other island that we actually have here in Calgary. So I think we'll keep on making our way there, but just wanted to show you guys this area since it too is a nice little place to visit here in Calgary. Enger asks, what's the temperature there? So right now, if I had to take a guess, I think it's like 20, 21 degrees. Pretty nice out. I think it's a high of 24 today, but then in the evening it'll probably be like 18. So I just brought a sweater just in case. Love that. go. So we are going to head towards Eau Claire Market, I believe is the name. Thank you very much to Paul. Thank you for the donation. Alina, my friend, good to see you again. I was in Calgary back in the mid-80s. Love the location. Happy Canada Day. Thank you very much, Paul. And you got to make another trip. Calgary's changed a lot since the 80s, I'm sure, as everywhere has. Yeah, I think the first time I ever came to Calgary was probably with my parents when I was like really young, and we just moved to Canada. But we also came here with the school, with a band trip, as well as Edmonton, and we'd like perform in some of the music festivals that they had here. And then I think it wasn't until my mom moved here that I really started spending like a lot more time here. So it's definitely a different city now. Switch here.
Oh, he was just seeing him.
Oh man, there's stuff going on everywhere. When I went online, it kind of only gave like 3 places where there was going to be events going on, but it looks like they've kind of, you know, set up all around downtown, so that's pretty cool. Look at these cookies. Oh my god, those are enormous. Like s'more cookies or something. $5 a cookie. Those look really good. What else have we got here? Oh, just before we do though, big thank you to Michael. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for showing us today. We will have to support you later this week. We always love your live streams. Enjoy this one a lot. Oh, thank you very much, Michael. That's so kind of you. I hope both you and Alona are doing good and having a good upcoming weekend. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll definitely chat with you guys later. Oh, and a big thank you to Eric Skanes. Thanks for the live stream. My pleasure. And then over here we got some different jams and some pickles, some pickled garlic, all homemade I think, which is pretty cool. Very cool. We got some food trucks here. Alfred asked, what part of the USA did you live in before you moved to Canada? Does my Canadian accent not give away that I've never lived in the States? I've never lived in the States. I'm from Ukraine originally, but I grew up in Canada since the age of 5, so I'm pretty Canadian. How do I get over here? Going around the corner here. I love that there's so many performers today, actually. This is like the 7th person, I think, that has been playing music for everybody. That's pretty cool.
One day I took your tiny hand, put a finger in a wedding band. Daddy gave us a piece of land.
Alright guys, you see what I see. Who in this chat has tried a beaver tail? Please comment down below, because this is one thing you absolutely have to try if you come to Canada. Sometimes they do have like standalone stores, but usually I think they are like food trucks, and especially at like fairs or different kinds of events. Let me actually get up close to the menu. Holy moly, that's a line. Holy, there's a lot of people waiting in line for one, Jesus. Okay, I don't know if I'll be able to, but you guys can see from here. Basically, it's like a really long, kind of flat donut, and you can choose different kinds of toppings that will go on top of it. And you know, obviously it looks like a beaver tail, so this is a very Canadian institution. They have poutine as well, which I will say, oh my god, poutine is definitely like one of my favorite, like, you know, junk foods, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I did not even realize that they have something called the poo-tail, which is the frickin' donut with poutine on top. I don't know if that would actually be good. That's actually kind of weird. Okay. Anyways, like I said, this place is definitely a Canadian staple, so check it out if you are in the Great White North. Oh, Alexander has tried the beaver tail. Yes, they're definitely at the Niagara, in Niagara Falls, and then also the Stampede. Alright, my goodness, it is busy. Gonna have to go around here. No poutine on Canada Day, I agree. Just poutine. I'll let these guys pass. The Hungry Hero, interesting. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. We got some Ukrainian food here. We got Ukrainian fine foods serving Albertans for over 25 years. How cool is that? Oh, I love it. They got cabbage rolls, pierogies. I assume that's supposed to be like kalbasa, kubasa. That's really cool. How perfect. There, as I've said in prior videos, is that basically there are of course Ukrainians who live, you know, all over Canada, but the majority are actually centered in the prairie provinces. I don't know if Saskatchewan is the one that has the most, but I'm sure that like here in Calgary and Alberta in general, there's also a lot. So in Saskatchewan, like we would always have like a yearly Ukrainian festival. And then also in Toronto, there's also a Ukrainian street festival. I assume that probably here in Calgary as well, there's one. Okay, so this is the part of my tour that I have not done in real life yet, but I think I know where I'm going. Give me 1 second to just get my bearings. Does anybody know which street this is? There's no signs. Let's just go down here and we'll figure it out as we go. I basically just want to walk down to 8th Avenue and then go to the left and make our way down Stephen Avenue. Andy asks, do you still have a home in Ukraine? Well, yes, I guess it is still my home in a sense, but yeah, obviously like all of my family in Ukraine is there right now in our family home in Kiev, so that will, you know, obviously be a home to me. And just to give you guys, I guess, an update is that yes, my family has been fine, but this past week there were missiles that were dropped on Kiev, as well as obviously everywhere else in Ukraine on a daily basis. So it's just, you know, horrible news after horrible news basically on a daily basis. So not really anything positive to say on that note. Oh, thank you to my mom who says, да, можешь дойти до 8й Avenue этим путем. My mom has confirmed that I can get where I want to go, so thank you. Aw, one sec, guys. Just want to say a big thank you to Malta Network Resources. Happy Canada Day. Thank you very much. Very sweet of you. And once again, thank you to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. They say Harriet and I split a beaver tail when we were there 5 years ago. A guilty pleasure. It certainly is. But thank you both. Thank you, Malta Network Resources, and thank you to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. Claude Lemire says census 2016, 1.36 million Ukrainians in Canada. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of us. All right, go here. We're gonna keep on heading down. And actually, if we would have gone, I did this walk last time, so I won't do it today, but last live stream I actually walked through Chinatown and down Central. So Calgary actually has a really nice Chinatown as well, great Chinese community. So if you wanted to check that out, that's all over in that direction. And actually my mom and I went to such a good Japanese restaurant in Chinatown last week. It's called Point Sushi. For anybody who loves like actually authentic sushi and done like with a, you know, bullet train kind of conveyor belt where you like order from your table and it comes to you like directly to your table by this cute little Shinkansen looking thing. It is the coolest place. Like honestly, one of the best like finds that I've gotten here in Calgary. I 100% am going back. So if you guys are looking for a good sushi restaurant, go to Point Sushi in Chinatown here in Calgary. It was so good. Yeah. Paul asks, is YouTubing a true passion of yours after doing it for so many years, or is it a job now? Well, it's both. Luckily, I love doing this. It's been a passion, yeah, for many years now, but it has been my full-time job for the last 3 years, if not technically more now. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful that this is my job. What is going on over there? I don't know what's happening, but maybe we should actually go over there. I think maybe there's some kind of performance near the cultural center here in Chinatown. So I didn't actually plan on going here, but why not? Let's go take a look. It looks interesting.
I listen to everything. It's a voice help.
1 second. I think in general, one of my favorite things about Canada as a whole, since we are celebrating Canada Day today, is the diversity. Because, you know, as I said, as horrible as, you know, how Canada became a country with colonization and genocide, and obviously still, you know, Indigenous people not being treated particularly well in Canada, as obviously as much as we want to try and make amends for that, the thing that Canada does have going for itself is that I think the diversity that we have in this country really helps people to, you know, be more open to different cultures and traditions and religions. Because as somebody who's, you know, traveled to many countries that really doesn't have any cultural diversity, like it makes sense that they are not so tolerant of people who have, you know, different viewpoints and having, you know, opportunities for, you know, people of every kind and stuff. So that is one really big positive thing that I'll say about Canada, that it is so great that we have that kind of cultural diversity. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna raise up my camera so you guys can see. think it's kind of hard to see, guys. I'm going to see if I can maybe go from a different vantage point. I don't know. I'm not tall enough, guys. I wish I was 6'5" so I could give you a proper view. Very cool. Travel coming up here. Is anybody actually from Europe and has any experience with the chaos that I hear that has been happening in the major airports in like, I guess it's been mainly London, Berlin, Amsterdam, like big connector sort of cities for the rest of the world, where I guess they're just as bad, if not worse, than what has been going on specifically at Toronto Pearson Airport, where like planes are landing and people are sitting on the planes for like 2-3 hours before they can disembark, and then like another 2-3 hours to try and get, you know, through customs and like get your baggage and all that kind of stuff, because I have been shocked to see the stuff that's been coming out of you know, Canada here, where it is primarily Toronto Pearson, but I guess Montreal hasn't been great, and Vancouver has had a few struggles. Calgary was absolutely fine when I landed, thankfully, but I heard the major cities are like so messed up. And I'm actually really, you know, grateful that I didn't decide to go to Toronto this time around, because not only are they now canceling a whole bunch of flights because they finally kind of came to the end of the rope where they're like, yeah, we just can't do this anymore, but also, you know, there's still ongoing delays. Is anybody like in Europe that can attest it's like that bad there? Because I did not know that airports were struggling that much after places being like completely empty just a couple months ago even. Oh, Francis says, I'm in London and flying to Vancouver next week, so we'll see. Hope it goes well. Aw. Thank you very much to Jim once again for the super chat. If you're still traveling around Sask, you could Kennedy on 24th, 25th. Is that a restaurant? Missing the Stampede will get your temporary Calgarian card pulled. This beats the slush and cold of your last walk and talk. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jim. Yeah, no, my last live stream that I did in Calgary, I think it was like March, and it was also, I remember, a super like windy day, and it was like miserable. It was so miserable. So today is definitely much better weather than last time. Okay, so this is 2nd Street. I was actually hoping for 3rd, but actually let's just go down here. Why not? Here we are. Now we're kind of getting into the heart of downtown. We've got all these big buildings. Skyscraper city. Ginger asks, do Canadians get as drunk on Canada Day as Americans do on the 4th of July? Most likely. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to rate, but yeah, for sure people are going to be having some beverages today. Though, I don't know if you guys know this, but it is illegal to have, you know, open alcohol in Canada unless you are in like a designated area, like let's say a beer gardens or something like that. Like everybody does it still. Like obviously people will bring like drinks to the beach or, you know, having a picnic in the park, but you actually got to try and be discreet about it if there's a chance that there are cops around. Because living in Toronto, I even remember like people would drink in like Trinity Bellwoods Park or on the island or something, and like they would be giving out tickets if you didn't like maybe put your alcohol in a tumbler so they can't immediately tell what you're drinking. You absolutely can get fined in Canada for having open alcohol. So FYI, if you're coming, you know, from I think the majority of Europe where you can have drinks on the street, that is not the case here, unfortunately. Sorry to hear about your daughter, Steve. That does not sound fun. XRP Freak asks Calgary or Toronto, which is better? Depends, right? It all depends on personal opinion and what you're kind of measuring it with. I personally, of course, love Toronto more. Like, it is probably, you know, it's hard. After Vancouver, I kind of said that, you know, Vancouver I now think is the best Canadian city, but still the weather, just for me personally in Vancouver, after spending a week there, I'm like, yeah, for sure I could not live there. I can't handle that kind of overcast, rainy weather most of the year. So for me, I don't think Vancouver could ever be the best city for me. So if that's out of the picture, then I would still say probably Toronto is my personal favorite. But just the thing that has changed about it is just unfortunately all the businesses that have closed down after the intense restrictions of COVID, and also, you know, there's a lot more vandalism in the city, more poverty and all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like Toronto has taken a really big hit in the last few years, and I really hope it's gonna, you know, bounce back going forward. So Toronto would still be my favorite city. But I think if you were really looking to settle down and actually purchase like real estate, or just not have your expenses be so high, Calgary would obviously be the better choice. And also what Calgary has going for it that Toronto doesn't in the same way is obviously the nature. I think between Vancouver and Calgary, it's actually kind of similar in the sense of like you have, you know, the mountains just outside of your doorstep. You have like a lot of beautiful nature that you can go to within an hour drive of the city. Like Toronto kind of has that, but not having mountains and just having like Lake Ontario, it's not quite the same. So both Vancouver and Calgary, if you're somebody who loves beautiful nature, I think they would be a better fit for you than Toronto. Aw. Thank you so much to Rahul, fellow Canadian. Amazing Canada Day live stream. Had an awesome time exploring Calgary with my family last week, and cannot thank you enough for recommending must-see attractions in your previous videos, and Moraine Lake, which was a cherry on top. Oh, thank you so much, Rahul, and I'm glad you were able to have such an awesome time out here in the West, because yeah, this is definitely like one of the most beautiful parts of Canada, and especially this time of year. So I'm glad you got to enjoy that. Thank you very much, and a very happy Canada Day to you as well. We are both, you know, new Canadians, I guess you could say, both coming from different countries, but both, you know, creating bases here in Canada. So even though, you know, I was born in Ukraine and consider myself Ukrainian, and of course I consider myself Russian too, to a certain extent. Canadian is probably, you know, one of the biggest parts of me, because I have just assimilated to the culture and spent so much time here, and, you know, really feel, you know, I feel Canadian for whatever that means. Whenever I come to Canada, I feel like, oh yeah, you know, I'm kind of home. And it feels peaceful, it feels good, it feels welcoming. So as much as I'm not a fan of the high taxes and, you know, very high real estate, there are many other, you know, benefits and positives to living in Canada. So I'm very grateful that I was given the opportunity to move here as a child and to have my education here, and to just have a Canadian passport, to be honest, is a very big privilege. It has made my life so much easier, because up until the age of 21, I was actually just a permanent resident of Canada. I've told this story in my other videos, but basically I couldn't get Canadian or apply for Canadian citizenship until I was 18 because my mom didn't apply for Canadian citizenship until even after I did, because she kind of, you know, was on the fence of whether she wanted to give up her Ukrainian citizenship, because you can't have, legally you can't have both. So I had to wait till I was 18 to apply for citizenship, and I didn't get my citizenship till I was 20 or 21, I can't remember. So up until that point, I had to use a Ukrainian passport, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Like, this was before Ukrainians were allowed into the EU without a visa, which they are now, thankfully. But back then I had to apply for a visa almost to every country I wanted to go to, and you had to be there in person, which is the dumbest thing. Like, living in Saskatchewan, we'd literally have to fly for like a 15-minute appointment to Calgary if I was, you know, gonna go anywhere. So thank God that they have, you know, created e-visas now, and it's a simpler sort of process. But back in the day, like, it was incredibly hard for me to travel as a Ukrainian citizen. So I'm very lucky that I get to have a Canadian passport now and basically be able to go to most countries without a visa, or if I do apply for a visa, usually they don't give you any issues just because you have a Canadian passport, which is wrong, you know, which is wrong, but that's how it is. All right, guys, so actually, I think there was a specific reason that I wanted to actually go on 3rd Street, which is down there. So let's actually head on that way. I don't like how it is suddenly overcast. That is making me nervous if we might get rain coming up here. So let's hope we don't. Still got a ways to go. Aw, thank you once again to Jim. Oh, you're saying Kennedy, Saskatchewan. I didn't know that that was a town. Is a good rodeo. I think Dauphin, Manitoba has the biggest Ukrainian festival, but that was pre-COVID. Are you going to hit Canmore? Nice little town in the Rockies. You're a Canadian world citizen. Yes, I am. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what all we're gonna do in Saskatchewan just yet, but I'll keep that place in mind. And then, yeah, I've been to Canmore many times. Really lovely place. I don't know if I've filmed any videos there, but yeah, maybe on the way to, you know, all the different destinations to the mountains. I think Canmore is basically on the way, on the highway, so I'll try and get some footage of it. Sergey, дякую. Happy Canada Day from Ukraine, from Luhansk. Please stay safe. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I can't even imagine what you guys have been going through. But thank you very much, and God bless. Nikita says, go trout fishing with your dad. You guys want to know something weird? I have never caught a fish. I have never caught a fish in my life. My dad used to have a boat, and we would go out every summer, and I would get some bites. I would try and reel it in. Never was able to like actually get it in the boat. So I don't think I would be much help if we were going fishing. All right, guys, yeah. I wanted to just come down here by the TD Center. One fun thing that I actually learned about Calgary this past time is that they have something that is called Plus 15. Is that the name of it that I'm thinking right? But basically, there's pathways all through downtown Calgary, like you see that one right there, like connecting the two buildings. There's pathways all across downtown between all the major buildings, meaning that you don't have to go outside. Kind of like the path in Toronto for anyone that's been there. And I thought that's such a smart idea, like especially because Calgary does get quite cold in the winter. It's actually cool that if you worked downtown, you could probably, you know, get in between places so much easier using that path system. and also not have to go outside into the cold. So, fun fact about Calgary. All right, so what is this, Cactus Club or something? Absolutely packed. And we are going to go down Stephen Avenue down here. Yes, I wanted to come down here because I like these things. I like these sculptures that they have. All right. Glad you like them too, Rahul. Yeah, it's so crazy that I remember the first few times that I came to Calgary, it just seemed like a city that wasn't very, walkable, and that didn't have a lot of local businesses. I just remember there being like really large chains everywhere. And of course there still is. But I think first of all, because I've spent more time here, I've actually, found really great areas that are super walkable, which is great. And the C train is pretty good. Like if you are just staying in that part of the city, the C train is great. It's just if you kind of live in some of the outer boroughs, it would be extremely hard to live in Calgary without a car. So that's, one of the reasons why I haven't really considered it as a place to live, is because I prefer cities where you can just have amazing public transit and you don't have to have a car, because especially with how much gas is nowadays, it's like it would be so expensive to own a car here in Canada and then also pay for the gas if you're driving far each and every day. I don't think it would be worth it. So I prefer to live in cities that have like really good public transit that you can get to all points of the city with. And also I really like cities that are super walkable and have everything you need in the area that you live. So that's kind of what I look for in a place to live. I don't like the whole idea of like suburbs and you have to drive out of there to get a store or restaurants and all that kind of stuff. That's not really for me. Let's see here. All right. Claude asks, how's the battery level? That's a good question. I can't check. I can't check, but I'll know when it gives me a warning that I have 20% left. And then I'll know I'll only have 15 or 20 minutes until the battery will probably finish. But today I do have a power bank that I think will reach from my purse. So we'll see. I hope I can get down to the other side of the river before I get the 20% warning. So let's hope for the best. You know what I noticed though? Other than that guy being pretty talented. It's pretty good. Usually, wouldn't you guys say, who come to my lives quite often, is almost always I have like some buffering issues with the live stream, right? And I don't want to jinx it by talking about it right now, but I don't think we've had that the whole live stream. How nice. Almost always that's been an issue, but hey, here in Calgary, I guess the service is strong. Fantastic. Oh, one sec, guys. I missed a super chat. 2 super chats. Thank you very much to City Driver. We want some footage from Nova Scotia. Okay, well, gotta give me some time to get out east. But thank you very much. Definitely want to head out to the Maritimes sometime. And thank you once again to Harriet, Jim, and Yuki. What does gas cost there right now? Yeah, so I think here in Calgary, it's almost $2, or like it was $1.89 maybe when I got here, and then it's gone up. which is, yeah, like ridiculous. Usually Calgary was, I remember when it was under $1 back in the day, but I think the last time I was here was like maybe 130. But in BC, when Lane and I were doing the Vancouver Island road trip, it was 220, meaning that we had a Toyota Camry as a car, you know, just a very basic economy sedan, and we filled our tank when it was 3/4, you know, empty, and it came to $97. $97 for 3/4 of a tank of gas. I used to have a Honda Civic, and I remember when, you know, like this was, you know, 2010, so sure, a long time ago, and I remember for me to fill up my tank, it was like $30, $35. Yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. So yes, thank you very much for the super chat, City Driver and Jim, Harriet, and Yuki. Much appreciated. I'm gonna just flip the camera here. King Cobra says, ha, the Maritimes, you ain't missing nothing here. Hey now, I'm sure the Maritimes has lots to offer. I was actually in Halifax for 4 days once, like about 5 years ago, and I had a really good time. But yeah, I haven't been anywhere else in the Maritimes just yet. So it is on my list. But I just wanted to stop here and point out, I like the dedication to the hay bales. That was not here last time I walked down Stephen Avenue, so I guess maybe for the Stampede they're making it very country, very rustic, so I like it. I like it. Ambiance. Oh, there's even more. Why are there so many hay bales in downtown Calgary? Interesting. Oh, they're selling cowboy hats here. Love it. I actually have to get a cowboy hat, or a cowgirl hat, I guess. I actually have my outfit all ready to go of what I'm gonna wear for the Stampede, but I don't have a hat. So, gotta get me one of those before Friday. Jotzi asks, are you going to do a video on the Rocky Mountaineer train in Banff? 100% I would love to, but I think I gotta try and collab with them and get it sponsored, because I do not feel like paying $3,000 or more for that train ride. It is ridiculously expensive. So I would love to, but preferably if I could get a sponsorship for that. Tornado says Cowtown equals lots of hay bales. That's fair. Oh, look what we got coming up here. Calgary Tower peeking through. I forget who asked for the view of the tower, but here you go. Here comes the magic. That's actually a place that I don't think I have been in for sure like 15 years. I think the last time I went probably was a band trip, which yeah, was 15 years ago. So I don't know how they have changed it, if they have changed it up there. Obviously it's not as high as the CN Tower, but I remember it being quite nice as well. Gives you a nice view of the city. Thank you very much to Michael for the super chat. I remember when I started driving, gas was 26 cents a gallon. I got worried when my tank took $5 for a fill up. Those were the days. Yep, that's sadly probably never coming back, right? It's way beyond that now, and like I genuinely don't know, like if the prices don't go down, like I have a feeling that like some people will have to like stop driving, and they'll have to like move to cities where they can take, you know, public transit or move closer to work or something, because like I don't know who can, you know, other than the very wealthy, really afford those kinds of prices. Like inflation has obviously hit Canada as well as so many other countries, but like gas prices are on a whole other level. So I don't know how they could stay that high and have people pay for it. I mean, the middle to lower classes pay for it. It's just like completely unreasonable. Let's see here. Alright, yeah, it is patio season today. Everybody's having some drinks. I think, yeah, this is an Irish pub. Lots of Irish and Scottish pubs here in the city as well. More hay bales. Amazing. I just get on this side of the street. More performers. I love it. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that song in so long. It's the early 2000s right there, I think. Alright, so right here, look at this. Right on the street where the Calgary Tower is, but we gotta cross the street. I don't know if it's open today, I wonder. But we're gonna keep going down Stephen Avenue here, and maybe I'll be able to pass the Central Library, which is one of my favorite places here in Calgary, and give you guys a quick look of the outside before we get to the river. I really love Stephen Avenue, actually. I love when cities do pedestrian streets, basically. Aww. Lovely Brianna is here. Thank you much. Thank you very much, gorgeous. Thank you for the super chat and for coming out. I was just thinking about you and hoping everything is fine. And I can see it is. City looks really fab, Alina, and the crowd friendly. Thank you so much, lovely. Hope you are doing good. Having a great summer somewhere fabulous and warm. And yeah, today, by all accounts, is still a really great day. I'm just hoping the rain doesn't come too early because I wanted to walk around with my mom after I finish the live stream, so I hope we don't get rained out. Alright, so on that note, let me keep on going here. I don't think we actually have that far to go as far as I remember. Some people really dressed up today, as you can see. Oh, that dog's cute. Yahoo. Is that for the company or what is that? I don't even know. Nice. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Michael. Michael says gas prices in Sweden is $3. Ooh, it's even worse. Jesus, so it can get worse. That is not good. Not good at all. But thank you for the super chat, Michael. Catalan asks, how do the Calgary bike lanes look like? Well, you know, I don't think Calgary actually has that many. Like, for sure they do near the river. Fantastic bike lanes, but as far as downtown, I don't think they actually have any. yeah, looking on the street and also all the people that rent those freaking scooters. You guys know how I feel about those damn things going on the sidewalks and nowhere else. So I don't think most of downtown has bike lanes, which is a shame, but there are really good bike lanes down by the river. So if you do bike, that would be the place to go. Aw, thank you very much to Lisa. Happy Canada Day from Lisa in the USA. Nice we can share a holiday weekend. Yes, absolutely. We got Independence Day in the States coming up as well. So big celebration for our neighbors as well coming up here. 4th of July. Oh, this I mentioned, I think, the last time I did a live stream, but we have a really beautiful monument here to women's suffrage, pretty much like women's rights activism and the prominent figures that we have here in Canada. So I thought that this was a really great monument that they've made here in downtown. So guys, where we've arrived to is the main first place that I wanted to check out, which is Olympic Plaza, which I read online is supposed to be like one of the primary spots that they have, you know, Canada Day events going on. So let's take a look here of what they got going on. Aw, thank you so much to another fellow Canadian, Nathalie. Thank you so much. Hey Alina, I hope you're having a great time in Calgary, a very beautiful city. Haven't been there in so long. Happy Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to you as well, Nathalie. Thank you so much. And yeah, definitely need to...
Bye.
Bye. You definitely need to come here sometime because yeah, it's changed a lot to see and do, and definitely need to get out to the mountains as well. So hope you do sometime this year or next year. Sending you a big hug. Hope you have a great Canada Day. Let me flip the camera here, guys. We got people splashing around in the water. Usually in the winter this is all a skating rink, which is a great idea. But yeah, I guess in the summer it's kind of like a wading pool for the kids, which is cute. And then over here it looks like they have a stage. And it's great because I think, yeah, they're doing an Indigenous performance right now. We could actually go to the front here and take a look.
That's awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. So at this point, I need a volunteer up here.
Right here!
Somebody who can count to 4. You got to be very attractive first of all. You got to be good looking.
Hello! I can see you!
All right then, come up.
Wonder what they're gonna do here. Let's see.
All right, let's have a round of applause for Leanne.
Hi, my name is Leanne. Okay. Okay.
See what they do here. what the name of that instrument is. It looks pretty cool. Cute. All right, guys, let's keep going because I don't want to actually run out of battery. I actually forgot for a minute that we are working against the clock here. But yeah, Olympic Plaza looks like they got lots going on, and I believe all the stuff downtown is going until 5 p.m. today, like all the stuff that's set up, you know, by the city or whatever. And then it's at 11 o'clock that they have the fireworks, which is going off of the municipal building right here in downtown. What way should I go? Probably up here. So yeah, that's at 11 o'clock because here in Calgary, the sun hasn't been setting until like 10:30, which is great. But that just means that, yeah, 11 is kind of the earliest that you can have a proper fireworks show and actually see it. Yeah. So let's keep on trucking. This is City Hall right up here. All right. In Toronto, they are paying lifeguards to hang around water fountains. What? Are they deep water fountains? And then we also got the University of Calgary over here on the corner, if you guys can see that. So let's see here. Let's go around. What's weird is that I heard they closed a lot of streets here downtown, so that's why my mom and I just left the car at a C train station and took the train to get in because we assumed parking. Oh no. Oh no, guys, that was the 20% notification. We're getting down to it. I gotta hurry. Worst case scenario, I can plug in my phone and it should work, but I'd prefer to end the live stream before that happens. So I'm gonna pick up the pace. But I was just gonna say that, yeah, I think it's a bit surprising that, first of all, so many roads seem to have traffic, and I do see parking spots too. So in a way, I guess we could have drove. We were just under the impression that it would be packed, streets would be, you know, all closed off, but I guess you can drive downtown for Canada Day. It really doesn't look that bad. But most people are, of course, taking the trains today just because it is easier. And then, of course, obviously, if you're going to drink, you should not be driving. So I'm sure a lot of people that just want to have a good time today and not worry about having a car are just going to take the train. Thank you very much to Samantha. Ananias from Brazil, thank you. Minimum of 11 degrees tomorrow for Calgary. What kind of summer is that? Yeah, that's a good question. It definitely ranges. Like, there's been a few days where it was like 25 degrees, and then other days it was like 10 and rain and wind and just like miserable. So it has been very chaotic this year. Usually it's not this bad. But guys, this spectacular building right in front of us is the Central Library here in Calgary, and I swear this is, you know, the most amazing building in Calgary in my opinion. If you get a chance, definitely go inside. It is absolutely beautiful. It was built in 2018 and they did such a good job. Like, it is just gorgeous and such a unique, you know, architecture build as well. So Calgary should be very proud to have such an amazing place that, you know, everybody can go to. Everybody, you know, as long as they have government ID, can get a free library card, can take out whatever kind of books they want, use the computers there. They have meeting rooms there. So definitely something Calgary can be proud of. Got the train coming in here. For those wondering, the C train is more or less an above ground sort of train. It does kind of like go underground in some parts, or at least it looks like it has a tunnel, but it's definitely like not a metro. Like you don't actually go underground to catch any of the trains, and it doesn't go that deep when it is in a tunnel. So it's an above ground sort of train system. Like this, for example, it's a tunnel, but I don't think it goes underground. All right, so we are going to St. Patrick's Park, and my mom should be waiting for me somewhere in there, because that's the other area of Calgary where they are having some Canada Day events. So obviously once I get off the stream, I will try and find her. But until then, I'm gonna take you guys through this whole neighborhood, because as somebody, you know, who probably isn't ever gonna, you know, like live in Calgary full time, but if I did, this would actually be the neighborhood that I would choose for numerous reasons. First of all, it's like a new build, you know, like 10 years ago, I don't think these buildings were really here. So brand new, beautiful, modern buildings. Like these are the kind of apartments that I like, really big balconies as well. It's right near downtown, obviously. Basically, you know, C train station right there. You got a superstore right there. You got a Winners, very important, right there. And there's a lot of like really nice little cafes, restaurants in here. And then you're also right near the river boardwalk. It's near this St. Patrick's Island Park, which is my favorite in Calgary. So if I were, for some reason, because it's not, you know, a place I'm considering right now to live in Canada, in Calgary, this is the area of the city that I would choose. I think this is definitely like a prime location. Just reading your messages here, guys. Alina, while in Romania and Bucharest, have you been to Calea Victoriei? Did you see the bike lane there? No, I don't think I did. Not sure where that is actually. I was just in Bucharest, and then also I went to see the castles in Transylvania. So that's all I was able to see in Romania, sadly, because I was only there about a week. Main comments, this looks so much like Yaletown in Vancouver. Yeah, actually that's true. There are some similarities to Yaletown, which I also like in Vancouver. I believe somebody had asked what is the apartment cost here. I assume you mean like to buy or to rent. And once again, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on the costs here, because I haven't really looked into it. Obviously it's going to cost more here because it's downtown, and these are also, you know, fancy brand new buildings. So even though I said you can definitely rent a nice one bedroom in Calgary for like $1,200-1,300, I'd guess that the buildings down here would be a minimum of $1,600. Like a one bedroom, I think, would be a minimum of $1,600 a month, maybe closer to $1,800 if it's really big and has all the amenities. But keep in mind, like the same kind of place downtown, you know, Calgary or Vancouver would be like an extra $1,000 on top of that. So that's the unfortunate reality of that. I got some kind of show going on here. As for how much would it cost to buy? Oh gosh. If I had to guess, once again, these are all guesstimates, probably like a 1-bedroom, yeah, down here would probably be at least a minimum of 300,000 Canadian to 400,000 Canadian, like a really fancy one. If you got a condo in another part of Calgary, it'd probably be like under 200,000. But you know, this is prime real estate, new real estate, so definitely the higher end. We got a little party going on here. It's a really cute older man. It's like senior citizen just giving it. Fabulous. Alright guys, we gotta beat the rain. I gotta go find my mom. So let's keep on keeping on. I think I have to go all the way around here. Crap. I was gonna cut through here, but I don't think I can. Let's see here. Got the coppers out today. All right. There I see the bridge to St. Patrick's Island. I think they're gonna probably build a whole new like condo over here as well, or at least something really big. The thing that I think is such a waste in like big cities, like if you want to have like a nice downtown, I think they should 100% build parking lots like underground, you know, for big condo buildings if they can, because it's like I remember in both Saskatchewan and Calgary, you know, 10-15 years ago, like just the downtowns, like even this is obviously just like a parking lot right now, and to me, like if you can move it, you know, underground, that's so much better, because it's such a waste of space to have a bunch of cars just sitting on an open lot, and doesn't really look attractive either. So hopefully they'll do smarter planning and start putting all the parking lots underneath buildings like they do in Tokyo. You guys should see the kind of parking lots that they have there. It is wild, wild how they do their parking lots. Okay, I need to get across here. Okay, this is the playground. I need to go down here. Has anybody in the chat been to St. Patrick's Island Park? Anybody? This is probably my favorite park in Calgary, and also it's more or less connected to the zoo. Not that I encourage people to go to the zoo, but they do have a zoo here in Calgary, and it's right beside the park. They have a beautiful communal garden over here. How nice. Oh no. Oh no, guys. We're on 10%. 10% until the live stream dies. Okay, yeah, no, we gotta plug it in, because sometimes the 10% can actually last, and other times it goes fast. So let me figure this out, and as I do, I'll just flip the camera here. Okay, I hope my cord will reach. That's the only problem. is for it to reach from the power bank in my purse, or I guess I'll have to carry it to the phone.
Oh, well, I could do that.
Could really use my stand for this thing, since I technically lost it when I was in Colombia. Okay, how do I do this? Oh, this is bad. Actually. Okay. Had to smush my face against the phone, if you were wondering what I just did to get the cord in. Oh, Lord. Excuse this technical difficulty for just another minute. Dang it. Yes, yes. Success. Success. Oh, there's my mom. Привет, привет. Как дела?
Батарейка уже, наверное, да, садится?
Yes, if you would only come 30 seconds earlier to help me with this, but this is good. Say hello to my mom, guys. Her name is Alina, if you haven't seen her before in my channel.
Да, видели все.
Да, видели, да,
меня
все видели. Ну что, будем гулять здесь на немножко? Пройдемся?
Давай, давай.
Yeah.
Я тебя уже тут давно жду.
Yeah, you've been only in this area so far?
Нет, ты там ходила.
Uh-huh. So what's all been going on here? Like, have they had like any kind of, I don't know, shows? Oh, I see teepees over there.
Можем туда пойти,
Yeah.
я не была там.
Oh shit. One sec, guys. Hello from Rahul. Привет. So yeah, guys, this is St. Patrick's Island. We are going to cross a really cool bridge to get there. And let me give you guys a view.
Ты хочешь через мост или?
Да, ну... А, это на береге.
Это здесь, да.
Oh, I thought they were attached. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, okay, well... Okay, how about actually we'll take a quick voting. Do you guys want to go over there with the teepees, because it does look interesting, or we'll go across the bridge onto the island? Because I thought everything was actually on the island from what I read online, but I see lots of cool stuff over here. So do you guys want to go to the teepees, or do you want to go on the island? Yeah, I know the rain is gonna start here. Let's see. Yes, the last time you guys saw my mom was in Brazil. We did a live stream from Rio, so that was fun. Good times. The island, both teepees, island. I think we got 2 so far for island, 2 for teepees, 3 for teepees.
Кто больше?
Teepee island. Okay, I need to count these. 1,
Да, давай типи, потому
2,
что
3,
это
4.
редко, знаешь.
Okay, we're getting more
Это
teepees so
редкость.
far, so, and my mom says we should, so let's go down here. I think we can go through the grass here.
А то правда дождь как начнется.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's go show you guys some traditional indigenous teepees. Yeah, they actually have more on this side. I mean, maybe there is stuff on the island as well, but they actually have a lot here. I see like food trucks. Oh, that was a raindrop. Dang it. Dang it. Hopefully we'll still be able to show you guys stuff. Yeah. Yeah. They have a really cute dog part. Well, that's what I have. I have that there. Look at the cute dog park, guys. And the cute dogs, obviously. It's adorable. All right. So, да. So, Mom, we already will have this in my main video, but you've lived in Calgary 13 years, right? What would you say have been some of the biggest changes that have happened with Calgary as a city?
района вообще не было. Когда я приехала,
Uh-huh.
здесь заканчивался Ситрей,
Uh-huh.
или поворачивала он, а здесь был просто
Uh-huh.
конец города. очень многое сносили. Очень обустроили.
Да.
Жилые дома построили.
All right, just to translate for those of you who don't speak Russian, my mom was basically just saying that back when she first moved here, this was actually like the end of the line for like the C train and stuff, and you know, all of this wasn't here at the time and stuff. So obviously, yeah, they've expanded the city a lot more, and obviously the population of Calgary has grown a lot as well. I think it was under 1 million, you know, 10 years ago, but now it's 1.4 million, so that's obviously a big change as well. Want to say a big thank you for the super chat to Kaleda. Alina, tell your mom that she is blessed to have a beautiful, smart daughter. Have fun out there. Thank you very much,
yes.
Kaleda. We're in agreement. Thank you.
I'm glad to have you.
Oh no, the wind's
Ветер,
picking
ветер,
up. I
ветер.
know. All right.
Показывай.
Ну да. Yeah, guys, we're starting to get the wind pick up.
В этой стороне, Алиш.
Не, а как? Здесь
Или
пройти.
ты хочешь
Обойти
хорошо?
здесь,
Да,
да. I think this will be easier. Yeah, guys, we're probably gonna have to finish things up in the next 10 minutes here because it's gonna rain and we don't have umbrellas. So I'm glad that we at least made it this far and I was able to show you guys all the stuff going on downtown. So let's end things off with some really cool teepees. We got some food trucks here. People are enjoying it all.
Травки.
It's lovely.
Взяли себе перекусить чего-то.
Yeah. What is some of this stuff? I don't know some of these food trucks. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, about Canada, Canada Day, Calgary, I guess anything, just drop it below because yeah, I'll be finishing off in the next 5-10 minutes here. Ooh, I think they are having a powwow. Let's go take a look. For those of you that don't know, that's like a cultural celebration in Indigenous culture. So maybe we'll be able to take in the show here. The teepees are super cool though. I love that the police are in cowboy hats. I actually love that. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, I'm so glad we came here. Whoever voted teepees, you were right. Oh, we lost my mom. She's taking pictures of the sexy police officers. Let's keep on going here. Yeah, they have all the traditional dress on today. That is super cool.
Beautiful. Big round of applause. Thank you, Rod.
Very cool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the dance that you just
Amazing.
saw is the grass dance. That dance originated from the Omaha people.
Very cool.
Was gifted to them.
All right.
Long time ago in the teepee days, we saw this dance.
Let's see if we can take in a show over here.
South of South Dakota. And, some of these people dancers, and eventually, by making treaty laws, human, the super dance, this is a ceremony. The Omaha gifted this to the Sioux, the Dakota people. Now you can go to any powwow, you'll see the awesome style of grass dances.
Yeah, we're not gonna
And
escape
usually
the
they'll
rain.
have a lot of powwows. That's how they open up the
All right,
powwow.
let's see how we can get a closer look here somehow. I don't want to butt in front of people though. Давай обойдем сюда.
I know you wanted to do a ring dance, but we don't want to do that, okay? We want to keep everyone here. We're going to go with our hoop dancer here. Who's going to dance this awesome
Yeah,
style.
Vanessa.
We're gonna
I'm
go with
gonna
our- did you pick a drum
Go
or
on
just
my
drum
knees so I'm not covering the view
Okay,
for
drum
anybody.
one, you're going to be singing for our hoop dancer. hopefully this wind and rain calms down. All right, here we go. Yellow gun. Hoop dance style. Oh, we just went with yellow gun, eh? What am I saying? Sorry, boys. We're gonna go with Wandering Tribe. These flags are freaking me out. That's why I didn't mark down the We're gonna go with Wandering Tribe. Here we go, boys. Hoop dance style. Wandering Tribe.
I'm not able to zoom in there. Wish. I don't think I can anyway. Or maybe, oh my god, I can. Amazing. Sorry about that, guys. I should have done that. I did not know I could zoom on here.
Help her out. Give her a round of applause.
Woo! Oh my god, 5 loops? Jesus. That is crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god, that looks so complex. It's starting to rain more.
Right
So
on. Big round of applause, Calgary. Awesome. Sandra Lamouche. Hoop dancer.
very nice.
Maybe we'll just keep
So
moving
glad
on
we
with our
caught
junior
that.
categories. We're
Now,
gonna keep things
Давай пойдем
moving
сюда.
along. We're going to go with our junior.
Oh, and right when I say that, now the weather is suddenly good. I was getting worried because my gimbal, you are not supposed to get that much water on it, so it was starting to rain and now it's fine.
Junior and teen categories.
The
So we're going to
chaotic,
go girls.
chaotic weather
Fancy.
here in
This is gonna be
Calgary.
soft.
It's like you have no idea. Is it gonna be hot? Is it gonna be cold? Is there rain? Is there snow? Who knows? Because actually, we were seeing on the news how one of the popular ski hills, Sunshine, you know, just outside of Calgary by a few hours, they have snow. Yeah, snow. There's still snow. There's still people snowboarding and skiing in July. Yeah, that's crazy. So very hard to know. But guys, I think this is a good place to end off my live stream. A very happy
Спасибо,
Canada
что были
Day.
с нами.
Да.
Спасибо, что были с нами.
Thank you for joining
Thank you
us.
for coming.
Happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. Hope you have a fantastic afternoon. And I think the next live stream will be this next weekend, guys, from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan on Sunday. Don't know the time yet, but I'll definitely post in the community board. So I hope to see you guys there. Hope you have a fantastic day and keep... Ну да, it is gonna rain. All right, love you guys. Take care.